What is up, guys? It's your boy Blackrue back in the house. Before we get started, cue in to go Saint. Cue in. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe I was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on our Blackrue investing. Best believe I was Blackrue investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe I was Blackrue investing.
What is up, guys? I'm back with another episode for you guys. You can follow me at Ruel Black on YouTube. Still got to fix that link. Let me go ahead and share here. Just put it out on Twitter, so we're good to go. You see your screen. Anytime now. Here we go. So crypto market has responded very well from what's been going on. If you guys haven't been around and haven't been paying attention, like a plethora of banks just really got a big hit. If we come over here and look at Benzinga Pro, First Republic Bank down from about $140 here in February, all the way down to $43. So that's like at least a 2/3 of its value is gone. Signature Bank is like in receivership right now. We got just a whole plethora of banks I can go through. Comerica Bank here, Western Alliance Bank. So many banks down at least 2/3. Okay. And crypto's loving this. Bitcoin went like its highest this year. It went in the 26 area. And basically want to talk about kind of what's next. Okay. What is next? Now, some really good information. You're going to catch me tomorrow. I'm going to be in a Gentleman of Crypto. We're going to start the show like maybe an hour early because I need to go over to Chance Garton's show, and we're going to be talking about how money is alchemy. And this is going to be Tracy Twyman's book, Money Grows on the Tree of Knowledge, and just a little bit of taste, a little bitty taste from that. I'm getting a PowerPoint ready. All money is alchemy. Money equals work over time. Whoever made Bitcoin understood the alchemical relationship that money is work over time. Money creation is alchemy. Bitcoin is binded with Saturn, the god Saturn, Kronos, who is also Father Time, by the way. And money, at least paper fiat, is binded with Mercury, also known as Hermes. So just a little taste of that information that's going to happen over on Chance's channel. But of course, we'll do Gentleman of Crypto early. But back to the banks here. Just so many banks that just took a fall. The only banks that didn't really take a fall as of yet are JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America. Those are the banks that are kind of pretty much holding strong right now. If you're from Detroit, like I am, you know Comerica Bank. They have their name on Tigers field where the Tigers play. Detroit Tigers. They're down basically almost half. Where else could we go here? Let's see, Key Bank. I think they do fifth, but third bank. I think they're down. Yeah, so they're down a bit. to like $12, almost half their value, and just the list goes on. I can show you Charles Schwab, so many different banks. Um, so basically, what's going on? What you can really say is going on is that the U.S. dollar is failing. Okay, and if you guys aren't really aware, the U.S. dollar is like the world's reserve currency. Now, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and just put it in the chat, and we'll get to those questions. So you know, if you got any questions, go ahead and put them in there. But the U.S. dollar is basically the world's reserve currency, and that gives America a lot of advantages. I mean, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but that gives America a whole bunch of advantages. Hey, what's up, Leonard? Um, so really with the banks failing, that means there's a possibility that the dollar can fail. And if the dollar fails, that would create so much current carnage in the world with the economy. Okay. So flash forward to all these banks failing, they can't let that happen. So they're printing money right now. However, that means with all these banks failing, there's a possibility that the US dollar fails. Now, let's go over a couple things. One thing we should be aware of, USDC, the stable coin. A lot of people were fearing that it would fail. But understand, USDC is the banker stablecoin. This is the only stablecoin that they have on LCX. It's highly connected with the World Economic Forum, as well as Coinbase is highly connected with BlackRock. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is on the board of the World Economic Forum. These things may not fail. Okay. However, I know a lot of people are getting really worried because a lot of crypto on ramps are failing. They were connected to Signature Bank, but Coinbase, as far as I've seen so far, Coinbase you can still put money on, you can take money off. Coinbase is still okay as an on ramp. Okay, Uphold, as far as I've seen, you can still do put money on and off that. So that's still okay, and the stable coin is still okay at the moment. Okay, so I really think these don't go anywhere. However, I think what we should really be concerned about is two things. Okay, so one thing we'll go overhead. We'll go ahead and put it up here. The vernal equinox is coming up now. You guys know I like Gann a lot, right? And Gann, one of the things that Gann did with his charts and stuff like that, he followed the astrology. He was really up on that. I know some people don't think astrology is connected to crypto and connected to things, but let me tell you this. I know we've always heard, hey, the human body is mostly like 70% water, right? And we also heard, right, that the full moon, like the moon, is responsible for tides, right? Tides go in and out on like the moon, right? Who knows exactly how it works, but the moon is responsible for the tides, right? So if we're mostly water and the moon is responsible for tides, don't you think the moon has an effect on us? Hence, don't you think astrology has effect on purchasing habits, all this different types of stuff, right? And then there's things that were, they say on the full moon, and like that's the time that they have the most people coming to the hospital, stuff like that. Like, so there's just correlations between astrology, the moon, and behavior. Okay, so it's just proven. So I know a lot of people think it's bunk, but it's actually proven in many different ways. So the vernal equinox is coming up, and if you're not familiar with what that is, it's when well, we'll just read it here. the 2 months of the year when the sun is exactly above the equator and when day and night are of equal length. So, um, if I were to show you like a little graph of how this happens, it's like a figure eight. And like when that figure eight of the sun, like the sun's movements basically, right? When the sun's in the middle of that figure eight, that's when you get the vernal equinox. It happens 2 times. Um, and this is the time right here coming up on like March 20th, March 21st. Some people say it's March 20th, some people say it's March 21st, some people say it's the 17th. So somewhere in between there, the 17th through the March 21st is when the vernal equinox is going to happen. So I expect for there to be some crypto event or something to happen with crypto during that time, and maybe with the banks during that time. So pay very, very close attention here the next couple of days. Um, and shout out to Waters Above. I know he mentions a lot of this stuff and he connects it to this type of stuff too. It's just a proven fact. Waters Above isn't the only one. Like I just mentioned, WD Gann, he's connected these things. So it's just something we want to be aware of. Okay. Now, um, long term, what's next for crypto? Long term, we really got to look out here. Is the US dollar done? Okay. That's the thing we really need to look out for. So what I eventually think happens, not financial advice, I eventually think that Ethereum might be like the US's world currency. Ripple might be like someplace over there in Europe. Binance somewhere. Tron somewhere. And who did I leave out? Okay. Ripple, Tron, Binance, Ethereum, and then Bitcoin and Litecoin will just be like the people's coin that they trade sovereignly. And like most every place will take Bitcoin and Litecoin. I really think that. So I think it's going to be a many different coin approach and not just one coin to rule them all. Um, Sort of like even though the US dollar is the world reserve currency, um, I think there's just going to be like five or six, and there'll be the five or six major ones, like the coins I just mentioned. That's what I truly think will happen. But you look at some people, they'll say, okay, Ripple's going to be the one that's going to be the world's reserve currency, hands down. I don't think anyone can say that straight out in a way. So that's why I invest in a couple different things. I got some Ripple, I got some Bitcoin, I got some Litecoin. Um, I'm not betting only on one horse. So, but I really think that if you guys know what the hermetic principles are, you'll know that there's a hermetic principle of rhythm, and maybe, just maybe, these elites know that the rhythm of who gets to be the world like leader in currency and economy, maybe it's just no longer America. Maybe that rhythm means that it needs to now go overseas. This is just a guess, y'all. This is just a thought. Believe me, I don't want it to be that way because America enjoys some really nice things by being the world's reserve currency. That means like anywhere you go with the dollar, you can really make out like a king. If you go to like the Philippines with the dollar, if you go to like I hear Colombia, if you go to Colombia with the dollar, it's nice. Um, if you go a few different places with the dollar, you're living like a king. Okay, so so I really hope that it doesn't mean that the principle of rhythm means that now someplace overseas has to be the world leader in currency. But who knows? Be prepared for it, right? So that's basically what I have to say about that. We're gonna hit up some more things here, but let me see in the comments what's going on. Laminar says, I don't think I see the dollar failing, just crypto related banks failing in the US. A lot of people say they don't see the dollar failing until well, I heard someone say they don't see the dollar fail until maybe another 6 years. I've heard that. I heard a couple people say that. Um, we'll see. Coming up in 6 years, we'll have the anniversary of the stock market, the great stock market crash in 1929. So coming up in 6 years, we will have that. Coincidentally, that's also when we'll have another Bitcoin halving around that time. Um, Bitcoin may be worth even like a $500,000 to $1 million around that time. So that will be very interesting to see what happens during that time. Courtney Johnson, what's going on? So maybe the dollar doesn't fail outright right now, but there's some interesting things going on in the world where you got these BRICS nations getting together, like just selling dollars left and right. Because if you don't know, guys, with the US dollar being the world's currency, people can hold the dollar instead of gold because, quote unquote, the dollar is redeemable by gold, so to speak, for these countries. Even though that isn't true, they don't have the gold to back the dollars. It's just not true. But that's part of what makes the dollar so strong is that other countries actually hold dollars as their reserve, as their currency reserves instead of gold. So whoever gets that spot as next global reserve currency, maybe it's a crypto, maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's Ripple. I don't know, but I'm gonna I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna try to move the money around and get it on the top three horses. And to me, right now, the top three horses in my mind are Ripple, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. Those are the top three horses in my mind, followed by maybe Binance, Tron, Polkadot, Cardano. Okay, so those are the major horses at this moment. But I definitely see it being like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple as the three in the lead at this point. But the dollar, I think, is done. Okay. Now, will we get stable coins that come out here, like stable coins that tie to like some fiat? Yeah, I think we'll have things like that, like stable coins that tie to the euro, stable coins that tie to the dollar. But I think something else might end up being the world's reserve currency. Um, and you can almost say that we tanked our own dollar. Like you like printing, like we weren't the only ones that printed stimulus, right? We just weren't the only ones that did it. Like globally, they printed stimulus over in China, over in England, over here. They it almost seemed like it was time, and they purposely failed the world currencies. So see here. Wait, bank stock's still down? I thought they'd rally back by now. Too bad they don't move like crypto. Yeah, they don't. Mark Gauthier. Yeah, they're still down. They're still down. Um, like I said, I showed Comerica here. They're down like it's hot down like half. Um, I just showed another one. I can't remember what other one I just showed. Let's see if we can do Charles Schwab here. Yeah, they're still down big. Some people are saying that okay, Wells Fargo's the next one. I don't know how true that is. So let's get Charles Schwab here. So Charles Schwab down still. So $58 is still down like 30%. No, 40%, like 40%. If it was like at 84 or something like that. So what's another one? Wells Fargo. Let's see. A lot of people are saying that Wells might be the next one. Wells and Bank of America. Bank of America, I don't see that, but Wells Fargo, they're always doing shady stuff. I can see Wells being next for sure. Like for sure. Like I can see that. Now I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying I could see it because they're always shady. Okay. So Wells not is not doing too bad considering what a lot of other banks look like. Western Alliance Bank is still this one really got hit bad. Like, okay, so like it was like about $70, $78. It's down still like 60%. There's a few different ones like this. First Republic, 140, still sitting at like $43. So there's still a lot of bank stocks out here hurting pretty bad. Pretty bad. Bitcoin looks like it's doing a Wyckoff pattern for a move back down. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so it's really close to oversold for the day. It kind of pulled back a lot. So some of the heat's off for that. But let's see if we can here go and look. Okay, let's look at what happened last back around here. So okay, right here. Okay, bet. So it looks like it's like around right here. This is like the second little push. So I think we have like one more push. I think it's right here. Let me move this. Sorry, my mousing skills. Ooh. Okay, so let's take this. I think we're now here. So I think we got this one more push up. Could come during the equinox. And how far could that take us up? Because I don't know if we're done with these banks with what they're doing. Can we get to 40? We're in this pink area. 40 might be something I could see. Like at least like 36 or 40 around that area. Because I think we're not through with this. El Salvador will dominate. The funny thing about that, Leonard, let me bring up some charts on this. Because to be honest with you, the US and China have way more Bitcoin than El Salvador. The El Salvador thing is just a look over here thing to me. So Bitcoin treasuries, these are like, who has what in their Bitcoin treasury. So you can see here companies, MicroStrategy is dominating, followed by Marathon, followed by Tesla, Hut. And I think Hut merged with somebody else. Riot, Clean Spark is on this list somewhere. Clean Spark should be gaining. Okay. Clean Spark's right here. I thoroughly expect them to be somewhere over here pretty soon at some point. But let's look at the governments. They had government. Okay, there we go. So El Salvador is here. Ukraine and the U.S. is here. And I think China has more than this. I don't know why they don't. I thought at one time they had China on this list. China has more than I think China has more than El Salvador. More than the Ukraine, I don't know, but they definitely have more than El Salvador. But I don't think they're going to list that on here. Because people would freak out if they knew how much Bitcoin China had. So if El Salvador has this much, right? Then the U.S. and the Ukraine, like, they're killing the game. They're killing the game. Grayscale, that's a lot of Bitcoin. It's a lot of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy and Grayscale got the most. Wow. So we think, right? Block 1 is coming up here. Mount Gox. Okay, this is being paid back to everybody, right? So that's crazy once this gets repaid back. That's a lot of Bitcoin, boy. It's a lot of Bitcoin. So that's what we got there. You can't bet the house on XRP. I didn't bet the house on XRP. Did I say that? No, I'm not betting the house on them. I'm not betting the house on them. Litecoin will dominate. Litecoin is digital silver. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. Doge, nah, Doge, man. I don't know about Doge. There's a chance that Elon can make Doge into something, but we'll see. Because Litecoin can go on the Lightning Network. It can basically go a lot of places Bitcoin can, and they're doing the whole upgrade so they can go be a part of enterprise software. So Litecoin, I think will be digital silver. What's up, Rashu? What is pending a lawsuit? Did I say something was pending a lawsuit? What's up? ETH? Is ETH pending a lawsuit? Or are you talking about XRP with the pending lawsuit? XRP now has the World Economic Forum behind them. So I think they're going to be A-okay. A-okay. So, because that's the thing. We got all these banker coins. We got XRP, Stellar, Hedera. Those are over there. Then you got like the sovereign coins where it's like Bitcoin, Litecoin. Okay. And then you got ETH. JP Morgan is heavy on the ETH train. And I think if they have their way, and with them being one of the strongest banks in America, maybe ETH is America's reserve currency. But we shall see. We shall see. But Ripple is in with so many banks, especially internationally. I could see Ripple internationally being a reserve currency. I could see that. I could so see that. Um, Binance and Tron are heavy in with Asia, with China. So maybe Binance and Tron, they got they get a deal going there. But Ripple is a part of even the Digital Pound Association. Digital Pound. So is Avalanche. I left Avalanche out there, but Avalanche's focus might be DeFi more than it is actually being a digital pound. But y'all saw, I put on my tinfoil hat. Y'all saw that Doritos commercial we played, um, the Super Bowl Doritos commercial where they say that the triangle has replaced the digital pound, and this is the triangle. So, you know, um, but it's very funny though, right? That and I was watching somebody who was talking about this. I think it was Rice TV. Shout out to Rice TV. He was talking about how money has a lot of water references. Like we refer to the fiscal year, like fish. We refer to things as liquidity, right? And then currency. So it's really funny, Ripple, it has that water reference. And we're coming up into the age of Aquarius, right? Going back to the whole kind of woo woo thing, right? We're coming up to the age of Aquarius. So I don't know. The Ripple plan this? It seems like it. Um, Seems like they're planning something, right? Of course, you got Quant. Quant will be like, I think, something that connects like CBDCs. I think everybody kind of has their role defined. I'm sure like a lot of these different companies are connected to the World Economic Forum. Ripple, of course, a member of it. LCX, of course, a member of it. Quant partnered with LCX. So a lot of these bank coins, you got that there. But then when you think about Bitcoin and Litecoin, they're a totally different animal. And with the proof of work and the fact that we normies can mine it, right? That's why you got so many people, so many companies coming in and mining Bitcoin because they had to go in and mine it so they can take it away from us normies. Like you understand that? Because Bitcoin is such a threat to. I just really didn't understand until I read that book, that same book that I was telling you guys about. Money grows on the tree of knowledge. Bitcoin is like the absolute most biggest threat to the current money regime. That's why I think they got so many people mining it, so many huge companies mining it. We just went through it, Bitcoin Treasury, right? How many different companies are holding it? But still, there's a lot of regular people holding Bitcoin, and I plan on being a whole coiner. I plan on doing it. Um, Clean Spark is my avenue to hold coins. We'll see. We'll get there. But you can see here all these huge companies holding Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin gets there one day, but I think they've actively done things to slow it down. But it gets there. It just eventually gets there. And now that all these people, now that it's gone so mainstream, that all these different huge companies are holding it, it will get there. Where are we? If Wells go down, that's the Armageddon. They'll definitely get bailed out. BOA rob you with a smile. No way they go down. Yeah. Yeah, and they got their boy that they love to throw up, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett. Everybody loves to say Warren Buffett, man. Like I'm not trying to disrespect Warren Buffett right now. I'm not. But Larry Fink of BlackRock has 10 trillion under his control, and you almost never hear about that man. Unless you're like we are all in the financial like world, right? We hear about BlackRock all the time. But if you were to go like ask like just a normal person, what is BlackRock? Who is Larry Fink? They will have no idea what you're talking about. But they'll know Warren Buffett though. Just saying. No disrespect, Warren. No disrespect at all to you. Just saying. PNC could lose it. Yeah, PNC. Yep. The Liberty Salvador has is better. Okay, got you. I might have to go visit El Salvador. And shout out to the Simon family. They went down there. They paid a visit. That's on the Gentleman of Crypto, y'all. Y'all can go on their channel and check it out. What they found, which this might actually be a money making opportunity, to be honest with you. What they found when they went down there, and I think it was sometime last year when things first hit that they changed it over, people didn't know how to use a QR code. So like if you could go to El Salvador and just train people on how to spend Bitcoin and how to use it, that might be something to do if you're like a person who can just get up and go down there. You know what I mean? Might be some opportunities there for someone that really knows how to use Bitcoin and who's really crypto minded, you know? Something that a New York attorney claims. Okay, so let me see. Rashu, I'm sorry. You gotta put this all together for me. Let me see. It's either a threat or an NSA pivot to a new better money. Okay, so see, people always say NSA, I think, when they talk about Bitcoin, but after reading this book again, I'm going to reference this book. There is no way in heck that the NSA would create Bitcoin because it would rival their system way too much. It's way too much of a threat to the US dollar. Okay. So if they created Bitcoin, they would be essentially trumping their own system, killing their own system. I can't believe that the NSA created it. There had to be some other entity that wanted to like, and I don't believe the Russians or the Chinese are really like against America or anything like that. I know that's the story that's all. I'm on YouTube. I know there's a narrative about how people say things about China and Russia, but I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I was speaking to someone who was Chinese, and they were saying that they were just talking, and they were saying that a certain type. They were just saying that a certain style of people control a lot of stuff over there, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So I was really shocked to hear that, because every time you think about China and Japan, you think that, you know, like most of all you hear is that it's like kind of nepotism, and it's like only like Chinese and Japanese there. But he's Japanese, or he's Chinese, and he was saying, well, these people run everything over here too, over in China too. I was like, what, really? So I was like, that was really like shocking for me to hear that. I'm just relaying what he said. I didn't say anything crazy. So I hope that's okay to just say that. I'm not saying anything against anyone though. So so it's pretty interesting, and I really think that no, they wouldn't try to tank their own system. So whoever created Bitcoin, they really understood the system. Not only like they understood how the system was made. I think there's a whole alchemical part to it too. There's a whole woo woo part to it too, and they understood that as well. And that's the part that I'm going to get into on tomorrow on Chance's channel. So there's a whole different part to this, guys. It's just an entirely different part to it. And unless you understand that other part, the everything else doesn't really make that much sense. But yeah. I'm still on the fence while accumulating BTC. I feel you. I don't think it goes anywhere. Even Gensler has said Bitcoin is not a security. So it seems straight. I've been to El Salvador. It's changed a lot of bad habits, which is why gangsters are running across U.S. borders. Okay. I might have to go down with you one time, Bernard. Where can I get the book? Oh, okay. You can get the book on Amazon. It's Money Grows on the Tree of Knowledge by Tracy Twyman, and that's Twyman is TWYWON, Tracy Twyman. And there's a whole story about Tracy Twyman, and I'm not even going to go into that. There's a whole story about her. There's a whole story about her. But yeah, definitely get that book. The countries that want to go to war just broke and need money. I feel you. Totally agree with that take, but the scientist in me needs to remain somewhat skeptical. Some things at face value seem almost good to be true, too good to be true. I feel you, but I think what happened is somebody really they understood the way that the money works, and the way that the money works right now. And there's a whole like spiritual background to this. Like only a certain tribe of people could be bankers. And this is true. I'm not talking anything against anybody. So YouTube, don't be. This is how it works. There's only a certain group of people that could be bankers because a lot of religions, like Muslims don't deal with usury. They don't. You cannot have interest. Like which doesn't mean like, okay, if I loaned you $100, like I can make an agreement with you, like, okay, you come and pay me back 200, right? That's not interest. I'm just saying, okay, I'm gonna let you borrow 100, but you pay me double. It's not saying, I give you $100 and then for 7 years you're gonna pay me. You know what I mean? So, some religions do not deal with usury, and the Christian religion is not supposed to deal with it either. So that's why this certain tribe was designated as the bankers. This is why it was. But understand, when you give money and you have fractional reserve banking, you can literally print money because you're only holding 10% to back it. And so from what I hear, there were laws that came out where they didn't even have to hold 10% anymore. So the whole structure is broken, because if you're only holding 10% of reserves, that means that 20% of the people come back and demand their money, everything's done. Everything's broken, right? And then if you're the ones who can actually print the debt, if you're one of the families that can actually print the money, that gives you way too much of an unfair advantage. If you're one of the people that can, or if you're a part of the things that can actually print the money, because we just proved now fractional reserves, only 10%. You only got 10% to back this. And when you think of derivatives on derivatives on derivatives, you're making a lot of money with just 10%, right? So really, like, if you're just printing money, there's nothing backing it. And you got way too much of a advantage. You're just printing money and issuing debt. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything other than that. So whoever made Bitcoin understood that this is what the normal system can do. It can just print money and issue debt. And virtually, basically, someone could call that indentured servitude. They could go so far as to say the SLAVE word. If you can just print something and then like attach a debt to it all the time, then that's completely unfair. However, when you think about Bitcoin, there's just so much, guys. You got to come to that thing tomorrow. I can't give up too much more of it, because now when you put it to Bitcoin is really novel in that it breaks that paradigm. Because remember, I said only these certain people could be bankers and issue debt, right? Bitcoin now says, hey, proof of work, anybody can mine it. Anybody can mine it. So anybody can just mine it and create the money. That before that didn't exist for us, really, right? Conceivably, you could do something like for example, sports cards. Sports cards, you can almost say that they're money, right? All you do with money is you print a president's face on it. You put a president's face on it on paper, and you print it out and you issue debt. Sports cards, you put Michael Jordan or John Morant's face on it. You sell it. You sell a certain amount of packs, and if you happen to hit the John Morant, right? You got some money. You can go and you can sell it. But Bitcoin was really interesting because, like, okay, who's creating the sports cards? Probably somebody that has money, right? Bitcoin, you could just go, if you just had programming skills, you could just go freaking mine it. Like, it was very novel. And there's certain mechanics to that we can get into later. On the show, I will get into that on Rockfin. Like, we'll get real deep onto it. On Chance Garton's show, let me see if I can bring up Rockfin and go to his channel. So we'll be on there tomorrow discussing this. I'm not sure if he's going to make it premium or not. Hopefully he makes it free, but I'll definitely ask him for the video, and you can come over to my channel and watch it. Only thing I ask is if you come over to my channel and watch it, I'm going to make it free for people to watch. But if you can leave a tip, I would very much appreciate it. A lot of research went into this stuff. So if you can, I would very much appreciate it. Let me bring up his channel. Should be one of the ones up here. There we go. Chance Garten. Come on over here. The mouse is kind of broken here. I don't know why it always does this when I'm streaming. It doesn't allow me to go down all the way. But there you see who it is. You can get a little account on Rockfin. It's very easy. You don't have to pay anything. But just with the premiums, you have to have a subscription. And I'm not sure if he's going to make it premium or not. So if he does, we'll see. And I'll just have it on my channel. We're also live on Rockfin, by the way. Seems like somebody's watching. That's awesome. What about Litecoin? Litecoin, I think, has a future. It really does. I think it's digital silver to Bitcoin's digital gold. Tether is more secured than USC from what I'm hearing in conversations. That may be true, but I think Tether is going to be Bitcoin's stable coin. And I think USDC will be the banker's stable coin. So that's what I'm thinking. BTC gets all the attention, but isn't there a lot of talk about Litecoin? For those of us that missed out on owning BTC, is Litecoin another option? I think Litecoin is another option. However, I think Litecoin is going to be like a silver option. So it's like, okay, Bitcoin is probably going to be the best option, but how much silver would you need to have the same amount of money as like a piece of gold, right? So that's the way to think about that. Like eventually I think Litecoin will have its day, but then how much Litecoin would you need to equal the amount of money that one Bitcoin will be worth? Right. And Bitcoin's having the most things on it right now, and eventually those things probably get ported to Litecoin. But that's kind of my answer. I think it's going to be a longer term hold type of thing with Litecoin. But I do think it have this day, and I'm personally investing in Litecoin and have some Litecoin. Excuse me. But that's not going to stop me from trying to get my whole Bitcoin. I'm going to do that. What's up, Gomes? War equals USD up. Well, will there be a war? I don't know. Well, there's some to say that there's a war already, right? The whole warring thing, I'm not so certain on, because I'm always of the view that, like, I always kind of feel like, and I think the people always lose in the war. The people always lose. These different countries playing back and forth. I don't think the countries. I think like the leaders or whatever. I think they're on the same sides. Honestly, I really believe that. And I think the people are the ones that get hurt in these quote unquote games. Okay. I think the people get hurt. But I think the two people that they make up the whole like warring thing, I think I think all of it's they're on the same side. But the people get hurt. Okay. That's just what I think. Oh, no problem, David. Thanks for coming through. I really appreciate it. I believe USD is going nowhere till 2029, 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression. I agree. That 100-year anniversary of the Great Depression, that might be where we see the dollar truly, truly fail. Gold is silver. Gold is silver, meaning that there are more above ground ounces of gold than silver. Gotcha. What's up, Outcast? Thank you, David. I appreciate you coming through. Well, Outcast, on that note, there are people that would say that Bitcoin is way more valuable than gold because there's only 21 million of those. You can always mine gold. There's always going to be some gold to be mined, whereas there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin, and people are losing Bitcoin wallets and losing keywords and passphrases. So really 21 million goes down every day to like 20, 19, 18 or whatever, right? From people losing stuff. On the same token, the same thing is true for Litecoin. There's only, I think, 84 million of those. And the same things are going to apply. People are going to lose it. People are going to not. Sadly, people are going to pass away and not give their keys to people, like all types of stuff, right? I missed a few minutes. Did you guys mention that Binance delisted Jasmy? Okay. I might have missed it if you guys discussed it. Seems like Jasmy and Helium will be delisted from Binance US. Whoa. Jasmy and Helium? And Helium is supposed to be where Solana is doing the Solana phone thing. That's really surprised that they delist Helium. Jasmy, I can understand. It's a Japanese coin. Who knows, right? But wow, Binance. But Helium. What's up, Sharon Dawson? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. What's up, Phantom Beat? What's up, Kid Graybo? So yeah, I think hoarding. I think Litecoin and Bitcoin will be sovereign. Like the people, we can already see that over there with Nigeria, where Nigeria is kind of fighting back against their CBDC, and they're using Bitcoin to do it. I heard it said somewhere where Bitcoin is like 50K in Nigeria just because of what they're going through with the CBDC. It's actually has a higher valuation over there. So pretty interesting to think about. Gold is a government Ponzi scheme, just like diamonds. There are 2 full mountains of gold in Uganda, but that's illegal to mine, same as diamonds. You just kick them around on the ground in Africa. Wow. Yeah, that's something to think about. And there's always rumors on these different shows where they talk about the philosopher's stone, right? Turning lead into gold. If that's actually possible to do and somebody knows how to do it, then somebody's making out. Thank you, Outcast, for the super chat. Agree with you on BTC. What are your thoughts on persistence and P-stake? I haven't heard of P-stake before. Persistence has a very high staking value on Kepler. Only thing is you can't swap it on certain exchanges here. However, like, you could use a VPN. You didn't hear that from me, but I'm high on the fact that you can really get a lot staking these. But I almost would rather, instead of having persistence, I'd rather have osmosis instead of persistence. And the reason for that being, I just see osmosis doing more with their platform. Let's go over here to DeFi Llama. You know how I love DeFi Llama, and DeFi really tracks really a lot with a coin's price. I know on Kepler you can stake osmosis for like 21%. I think persistence you can do it for like 23%. But let's take a look here at chains. That's what we want to do. Osmosis was one of the ones where they made it up to 1 billion or 2 last bull run. Persistence, I don't think they did that. And I'm not sure that they even have their DeFi up and running or not. So let's just check this out real quick. So osmosis, you can see it growing a little bit. Kava's been growing a lot. They have a lending platform. Kava might be one to look at too. Outcast. See here, I don't see, okay, persistence, there's nothing here at the moment. They have it on the list at least. P-Stake Finance. So that's something. But if you come and look at osmosis, they actually have things on the chain. Not sure what just happened there. Let's do that again. So yeah, they were up to like almost 2 billion. Like you can say like 1.76 billion. But you can see here they're already on Marsh Protocol and Ion DAO. So it's not just the DEX anymore. So they got some things going. And since persistence doesn't have any of that going, I would say osmosis for this for right now. What was that other one though? P-Stake. Don't forget about all the gold in Grand Canyon. See, you guys are about that woo-woo a little bit. I think you're about that life. It's only Binance USA. Binance holds highest amount of Jasmine, even more than the company. Wow. Okay, that's good to know, Gomes. So, what's up, Crypto Clady? Made it in late, but he is here. Appreciate it. Better not pick one up. I had a friend who that went to jail for 6 months in Africa because he picked up one of the most interesting Black Rocks. Wow, the Black Rock. There's a reason why Black Rock is known as Black Rock, and there's so much into that. Basically has to do with Saturn worship. There's a lot into that, but we won't even go into that. Y'all have to look at my Rockfin channel for that. I think the video is free, all on Saturn worship. So definitely check that out on Rockfin. U.S. gold mines are high in demand and are reopening across the country. He didn't even realize it was a diamond. Silver has a real use case in all electronics. Yep, 100%. A Tesla vehicle uses about 1 kilo of silver. In each Tesla vehicle, silver holds true long-term value. Yes, yes. And there's some to think that copper holds that value too, because that has a lot of technological uses as well. So that might be one to look at, or different like copper mining companies, copper ETFs. Thank you for those insights. Most def. Check out Osmosis. Now you got me thinking about young Yassine Bey. I might have to start listening to that Black on Both Sides tonight, or at least their new album, which I got on Luminosity. What is it called? No Fear of Time. No Fear of Time. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Mayumi Says, that's my song right there. Yep. That and Climb from that album. Oh boy. Bringing me back. Bringing me back, boy. But I think that's all we have for questions. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Chat was really active. I love it when the chat's active. Definitely come back here tomorrow. We'll have Gentlemen of Crypto show. We're going to go a little bit earlier. So just be on the lookout. Make sure you click the bell to get the notifications. So I'll be out, guys. Have a good one. Peace.